This book had to break out the church fan for this one because woo! What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bookmarked. I'm your hostess, Sherry's Joy. I am always happy to be here. I am an avid reader. I love to read books, and I love to talk about the books that I have read and my experiences while reading them. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, if you are not, welcome back. I highly appreciate all of you. Today, I'm going to talk about, it's been a long time coming, but I'm going to talk about my thoughts and what I feel or how I felt about Beach Thing by Miss D.L. White. So this book had to break out the church fan for this one because woo! All right, this book is really good. It is book 1 of 3 of the Black Bay Diamond series. And this book we follow Amina and Wade. They are the main characters of this book. Amina lives on Black Diamond Bay, and Wade is actually visiting. Wade is a music producer based out of New York, and he needed some time away for the summer to kind of like reset himself, kind of think, get away from everything so that he can work peacefully without interruption. And he actually goes to the island and he runs into Amina. Amina, she lives there, as I said, and she actually just opened up her own smoothie shop. Her parents she comes from a noteworthy family, and her parents have businesses, and she actually opened up her own. This is her very own project. She cleaned up the place and everything, and it's really awesome. And so they bump into each other and they form a friendship, and they kind of like, it just builds from there. So they decide to have like a summer fling, which is what they call a beach thing. And I was not ready for what I read. I was not expecting this type of spice. I haven't read this type of spice since my Zane days. Okay. This was spicy and good. So I have a new rating scale that I created. I have a survey that I made for myself. It's made up of 4 sections. I have the writing style, the plot, the character, and the atmosphere and vibes. And so I kind of, for each section, I made certain questions, and the score rating that I have, the lowest score that I give would be a 13, and 65 is the highest. So that means like a rating from like 1 star to 5. So I'm always like, I rate this a 5, I rate this a 3, I rate this a 4, but like, why? How did I come up with those numbers? So I wanted to do something to be able to say, this is why, okay? And this is actually my first book by following. So this is actually the 3rd book that I've been working on this criteria, and the first time I've actually gone in depth of talking about it. Okay, so let's get to it. The writing style, so the descriptions were very vivid and specific, and they definitely enhance my understanding of why we're here, right? Why are we on Black Diamond Bay? We are on Black Diamond Bay because Amina lives here. She has her own business. Wade, he needs to get away from the city and from everything and take a break and kind of like spend the summer in a secluded area, I guess you could say. I mean, it's like he was planning on secluding himself so that he can work on his music and concentrate, right, with no interruption. So that's why we are here. How well organized were the ideas, and how good did they flow together? They made perfect sense. They flowed together very well. I could see everything. It just flowed. It was a true page turner for me. And the overall picture of it is that I actually loved how, and this kind of goes into the character building as well. So I love how the chapters, each chapter is the other character, right? So we start off with Amina. We learn about her. Then we go to chapter 2, which is Wade, 3 Amina, and so on and so forth. So we get like the thoughts and the what am I trying to say? We get what the other character is thinking, right? So we're following each character. So we're not in their brain, but they're like talking to us. So we understand, we get the build from each person. And it's really good because as a girl, I mean, I'm a woman, but as a girl, as like a teenager, I'm always like, I wonder what he's thinking. I wonder, what does he think about me? Or does he feel this way? Or does he feel that way? Even sometimes, even now with like my husband, I'm like, I wonder how he feels about this. So this book like definitely is like, we definitely learn what Wade is feeling. We definitely learn what Amina's feeling. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I wanted to, know more. Like each chapter, I found myself at the edge of my seat, kind of like, I need more. Oh my God, turn to page. And then the chapter ends, it's like, oh, well, what's Wade going to do? What's he going to say? Oh my goodness. So I absolutely loved that. And I loved the character building because it's a rather, it's a shorter book. I think it was like 184 pages. I read it in like a couple of days, like literally 2 days, or 3. And so we learn so much about the two characters. Like we learn about Amina and her family and how she's feeling and why she's on this island and how she became, to be on this island. So I developed like a emotional, not really emotional feeling with her, just kind of like I could be her friend, like she seems real cool. I like her story. I would go to her shop and definitely have like a smoothie or something like that. Somebody I can trust. Then, with Wade, I had an emotional, connection with him because outside of what he's, doing, like his music producing and stuff like that, there's, other issues, like other family things that's going on and other relationships that he's having, with people that he's close to, not like having relations, I'm saying people that he's close to, other relationships like family and things like that. So I really felt connected to both of them in such a short period of time. And it really made me want to know what is going on beyond those pages, after the book. So what extent does the dialogue affect me? Like, does it flow? The conversations in the book? Yes. The dialogue flows, right? There's conversation. I'm easy to follow. You know what character is saying what. Even when you bring in when Miss White brings in other characters into the story, there's like maybe 3 or 4 people in the room. You know who is talking. It's not like, wait, what? Who said this? You know exactly who said what, and it's just a regular conversation, and it flows very naturally, and I 100% love that. And as far as like the atmosphere and being in the pages, I love saying that. I don't know if that's like an actual thing, but being within these pages, I could get a clear sense of where I am, who's around, who, like it's me, right? Like who I'm talking to, who's talking, and all of that. And the sensory in it, whew, like I said, church fan, the senses were all there, okay? Like the senses were there. It was emotional, it was sarcasm, standing up in it was great. Shout out to that. I didn't know what that was either. If you don't know, find out, read this book. And just the overall everything was just amazing. I really enjoyed reading this book. And I'm not kidding. Like, I haven't read a spice this good since my Zane book reading days. Now, those were, early 2000s, and I was like in my 20s. It's definitely been 20 something years since then. And I'm pretty sure there's other like books, that are like that. But I haven't read them. I don't really read romance. And I was like, I don't know if I'm turning red right now, but I was definitely blushing while reading this book. So I definitely loved it. This is an island that I would love to visit. Now, I am not sure if this is an actual place or not. Like, I did look it up and everything I found was like in some weird country or some other country. So I'm not sure, but I can see the layout of the islands. I really can. And then like in the background where the ocean is, I can definitely see like black mountains, like shaped like a diamond or something. I don't know. I just saw that. And her store, I definitely, at first, when it first opened, I thought it was like maybe a tiki booth, but then it kind of seems like, okay, this might be like a boardwalk store, you know, and like there's different areas and different things. They've got beach yoga. And it's really great. And I really enjoyed this story. Will I read more books from Miss White? Absolutely. Absolutely. Will I continue this series? You betcha I will continue this series. I rate this a 5. And let me just explain something. With all of my questions that I have, I gave it's 63 points out of 65. And that is a 5-star. In my opinion, that is like a 5+ star rating. The only thing that I really didn't give it a 5 on, for me, like a 5 points, was the character build. Like, I felt like I cared more about Wade than I did about Amina, which isn't even that big of a deal, right? Like, I cared about them both, but just in different ways. So, you know, I had a strong connection with Amina, but I had an emotional connection with Wade and not both of them. And then the other one is the building of character. Consistent and emotionally strong, or exceptionally powerful and radiant. I felt that it was, you know, consistent and emotionally strong. Everything was, you know, set in motion, and it flowed all together. And I loved that. It was definitely a very cute love story. And, you know, like I said, with some spice in there, with a lot of spice in there, actually. And I guess the only thing that I could say is that it wasn't predictable, but it was your boy meets girl, boy gets girl, boy loses girl, boy wins girl type of thing. So that's the only thing. If you could say it was predictable, and I still don't think that was predictable. So I still absolutely phenomenally loved this story. Shout out and kudos. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful reading. I am excited to read more. I have a lot on my TBR list, like who doesn't, right? So I truly appreciate everyone who's watching this video. If you know of anybody that would benefit from this video or any of my other videos, check out my other reviews that I have on YouTube, BookMarkedSJ. Pass the word, you know, spread the love, share the link. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this book. Have you read this book? Are you going to now read this book? I definitely did not spoil this book. But if you've read this, let me know what you think. If you're interested in reading it, hit me up, you know, let me know what you think. If there's other books by Miss D.L. White, let me know. You know, I'm definitely interested in reading more. So if there's another series that you liked, or maybe you liked one series more than the other, let me know. I'm open to everything, and it doesn't even have to be by Miss D.L. White. It could be any book. Just hit me up, let me know. I love getting feedback. I love getting recommendations. I have a lot going on and a lot on my TBR list, and I appreciate every single one of you. I am Sherry's Joy. This is Bookmarked, and thank you all for, again, watching and listening and sticking with me. I'm one half of the DigiKast. You can find me on all the socials below, and you can find the DigiKast everywhere: Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. Okay. Thank you again for watching. Love the world.